Namaskar, I am Dr. Anil Taneja. Today I will be talking on what foods we should consume so that we stay healthy and what are the foods which we should avoid so that we don't fall sick. For this, we need to consume a balanced diet. We all know there are 7 components of the balanced diet. One is carbohydrates, fats, proteins, fibers, vitamins, minerals, and water. If we eat these foods in the right quantity, from the right source, and in the right way, we'll always stay healthy. The more we stay near nature, the more we will be away from the diseases. So foods should also be consumed in their natural form, not the refined or processed form. First we'll talk about carbohydrates. Usually carbs come from grains and sugars. Grains, when consumed as whole grains, they are full of nutrients and fibers. Refined foods are said to be the main culprit behind most of the diseases. When we refine the grains, we usually strip off the outer covering, what we call the bran, which is the source of all the nutrients and fibers. More and more these are refined, more and more nutrients and fibers are being lost. So, it is always recommended to use the grains as whole grains. If not possible, you can use it as porridge or as a coarse flour with bran. Always prefer brown rice over white rice. If possible, use non-wheat grains like oats, ragi, jowar, bajra, quinoa, millets, etc. These have very low glycemic index. Sugars. Stop or minimize the use of sugars in your diet. All the sugars are not good, but the white sugar is the worst. All the sugary foods which give us instant energy, they have very high glycemic index, which means that whenever we consume these, the blood sugar levels, they rise immediately and our body has to produce insulin to combat it. When repeatedly this thing happens, then we develop insulin resistance, which is basically the root of most of the diseases in our body. So try to avoid all the sweets because they contain white sugars and refined oils. Some people have severe craving for sweets. If one can't resist eating sweets, it is better to prepare the sweets at home with brown sugar or palm sugar, which is relatively better than white sugar. Proteins, they come from plants and animals. Plant sources are usually lentils, grains, nuts and seeds, etc. Animal sources from dairy products, meat, chicken or eggs, etc. Pulses, beans or legumes are the richest source of proteins in the vegetarian diet. These are least processed. These are very important. These must be consumed in our daily diet. These can be taken in cooked form or it can be taken as sprouts, which are even healthier. Milk and milk products, they are also a very good source of protein. Fats. Fats are of two types, saturated and unsaturated. They are also available from plants and animals. The plant sources can be from coconut oil, palm oil, olive oil, avocados, seeds and nuts, etc. Many seeds give polyunsaturated fatty acid oils such as sunflower oil, cottonseed oil, safflower oil, groundnut oil, corn oil, canola oil, etc. But these are marketed as heart-friendly oils, which practically is not so. Their main problem is that whenever they are reheated, they lead to the formation of the trans fats, which are pro-inflammatory, and they cause plaques and blockage and lead to many diseases. So whenever you use these oils, these should not be reheated, they should be discarded. We can have manually refined seed oils like mustard oil, sesame oil. These are better than fully refined oils. Other unhealthy oils are vanaspati ghee, margarines. These are having much of trans fats, so these should be totally avoided. Some studies suggest that saturated fats, when taken in small quantities, they are useful. These don't form any trans fats. Many patients, they ask that which oil should be used for cooking. It is recommended that continuously no single oil is good for cooking. We often recommend to use saturated fats in the form of desi ghee, polyunsaturated fatty acids oils like mustard oil or sesame oil, and olive oil. We should keep changing. Olive oil is a good source of omega-3 fatty acids. This should not be heated. It should be used as a salad dressings. Fibers. All the grains, pulses, legumes, nuts, seeds, fruits and vegetables have fibers. More and more, when these foods are refined or processed, the fibers are being lost. In males, per day fiber requirement is around 30 to 35 grams, whereas in females it is 20 to 25 grams per day. Fibers are usually of two types, soluble and non-soluble. The fibers, they help in cleaning the digestive tract. They also help to maintain the flora of the gut, which, if healthy, protects us from many of the diseases. Statistics tell that every 7 gram of fiber consumed reduces the chances of heart disease by 9%. So fibers must be consumed on the regular basis. Vitamins and minerals. Their deficiency also predisposes us to many diseases. All foods, when consumed unprocessed, have plenty of vitamins and minerals. Fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds are very good sources of vitamins and minerals. So we must consume fruits, vegetables, salads, sprouts, nuts and seeds in their natural form. It is always better to take seasonal fruits and the regional fruits. That means the fruits which are available in that particular area where you are residing. Instead of taking fruit juices, it is always better to consume fruit as a whole. Always try to avoid flavored juices which are available in the market. They are just full of sugars and flavors. As per Ayurveda and Yogapathy, if we make 30 to 40% of our diet from fruits, salads, and vegetables, we can reduce our chances of getting the disease by more than 60%. The fermented foods, they help our gut flora to grow in a very healthy way, and thus they save us from many of the diseases. So fermented foods like curds, yogurts, etc. should be regularly included in our daily diet. Water, which is the basis of our life, should be taken in plenty and at regular intervals. Now we will talk about the processed foods. These are the packaged foods which are processed and then packed in very attractive packing for ready to use purposes. Always remember that these all contain sugars, preservatives, refined oils, MSG, sodium, artificial flavors, artificial vitamins. These are not very good. So whenever you buy any packed food from the market, must read the contents on the packet. It should not contain sugars more than 5 grams per serving. It should not contain trans fats or unsaturated fats. It should not contain MSG, which it is monosodium glutamate, which is basically a flavor enhancer. It is harmful for the body. It should contain sufficient amount of fibers. It should not contain artificial flavors, artificial ingredients, or artificial vitamins and minerals. Only after looking for these things one should buy these packets. In general, these packets are of candies, sodas, flavored juices, cookies, cakes, pastries, white bread, donuts, chips, french fries, chocolates, breakfast cereals, processed whole grains, coated dry fruits, etc. Preferably, these should be avoided. Avoid or minimize the use of junk foods or the fast foods, which are basically made in the refined oils, which are heated and reheated. These are full of trans fats, so one should avoid it. These commonly available are burgers, cutlets, hot dogs, noodles, pizzas, momos, potato chips, samosas, pakoras, spring rolls, etc. So these should also be avoided. If you are to consume, it is always better to make these at home. For the non-veg people, the eggs are considered healthier than the meat preparations. Among the meat preparations, roasted or baked preparations are better than the fried preparations. Fish and chicken are considered healthier than consuming meat, mutton or pork. About fasting, recently many of the studies have come which show that intermittent fasting or fasting helps to reverse the insulin resistance, which is the root cause of many of the diseases. So, if possible, one should try to keep a fast, maybe weekly. One should finish his dinner at least 3 hours before sleeping. Avoid munching in between. Eat only when you are hungry. Don't eat just for the sake of eating. Points to be remembered out of this video. Eat whole foods. Avoid processed or refined foods. Stop white sugars and all-purpose flour. Take sufficient amount of proteins. Take plenty of fruits and vegetables. These must form at least 1/3 of our diet. Take plenty of fibers. Take sufficient amount of water. Read the contents of the pack before use. Avoid any junk foods or fast foods. Refined oils, once used for frying, should never be used again. Develop the habit of fasting. I hope if we follow these instructions in our foods, we can save ourselves from many of the diseases. If you feel this video useful, you can like, share or subscribe. If you have any question or suggestion, you can always write in the comment box or in the given email ID. May God keep everybody healthy and happy. Thanks for watching.